Hi, welcome to Coding Droplets and thank you for watching this video. So this is part 3 of Blazor Beginner to Advanced Tutorial series. In this video, we are going to discuss about dependency injection. So let's see what is dependency injection. So dependency injection, or we can call it as DI. Dependency injection is a mechanism in which an object receives other objects that it depends on, called dependencies. Typically, the receiving object is called as a client and the passed in or injected object is called as a service. So we will be discussing more in detail while developing our project. Now, there are different life cycles for dependency injection. The first one is scoped. So the scoped life cycle is valid within a scope, for example, an HTTP request. Then the second one is singleton. Singleton will be having a single instance of the class, and it will be same for every objects. Then the third one is transient. So transient means it will create a new instance for each time the service is requested. So don't get confused. Don't worry if you don't understand. We will be going detail while we develop the project. So please subscribe to our channel named Coding Droplets if you have not subscribed it yet. And also don't forget to press the bell icon so that you will get notified once we upload new videos. So I have opened our demo project in Visual Studio, and you can see the project files in our Solution Explorer. So if you are watching this tutorial series for the first time, you can find the playlist link in our video description. So if you open that video playlist link, you can find the previous videos in the series. So this particular demo project has been created in our previous sessions. We have already created a model class and few pages to explain about Blazor development. So we have already covered so many things in Blazor development. So if you are new to Blazor, I request you to watch the previous videos first. So now let's start with dependency injection in Blazor. So first, let's see how to add a singleton service and how it works. So for that, I'm creating a new class, and I'm naming it as contact service. Okay. So we already have a model class named contact here, which is having 3 properties: first name, last name, and email. Fine. Now in this service, I'm declaring a new variable, public list of contact. So in order to use contact, I have to use the model's namespace. Fine. Now contact list, okay, is equal to new list of contact. Fine. Now I'm adding one more method here, public void add contact, and this method will accept a parameter contact. Fine. Now inside this, I need contact list.add contact. Fine. So here what we will do is we will receive a contact object here, and we will add that contact object to this contact list. Fine. Now I need to register this particular class as a singleton service. For that, we can go to program.cs, and I'm using .NET 6. So in .NET 6 and C# version 10. So in C# 10, there are some differences in the sense now you cannot see the static void main function and all in program.cs. So you might get confused if you are new to .NET 6. So here if you are using .NET 5 or something, you can directly provide here builder.services.add the Singleton service. And in .NET 6, it is same, but here there is no static void method. Automatically, the application will consider all these functions inside static void method if we have not mentioned it. So that is how C# version 10 works. Okay, but even we can give static void method, a static void main method if we need. It will work in that way as well. Okay, fine. So here what I'm going to do is builder dot services dot add singleton. Okay, now here I'm providing contact service, our service name, sorry, our class name. So contact service is the class. So I have given that here. That's it. Now it will be added as a service, a singleton service. So we can do it in a different way as well, like private, static, void, configure, services. So in this way as well, we can add it. So I think I can use in this method. Okay. Fine. Now here services dot add singleton contact service. Fine. So that we can directly go to this method. This method is the configuring service method. So I can remove it from here, and even we can move this as well to this configure services dot add. Fine. And here what we need to do is we need to call this method configure services of builder dot services. Fine. Okay, so this is a new static method in which I have added services.add singleton contact service. Now let's see how we can work with this service. For that, I'm creating a new page, a new eraser component. So I'm naming this demo1.razor. Okay, demo1.razor, and here I'm mentioning the page URL demo01. Okay, so this is demo01. Now the next thing what I need to do is, in order to inject this service to our razor component, what we can use is at inject. Okay, now we can provide the contact service and just provide a name for the object contact service. That is fine. Okay, now in this demo, in this particular razor component, what I'm going to show is if contact service dot contact list. So here in contact service, we have the contact list here, a public variable dot count equals 0. Then we will just show in bold, no contacts to display. Fine. Else what we need to do is we have to I'm using a for each method here, where contact in contact service dot contact list. Okay, now here what I'm doing is just showing the name in bold at contact dot first name, then space at contact dot last name. Okay, now in italics I'm showing the email contact dot email. Fine, then we can show a line there Fine. So I'm moving to the next slide. Okay, now I think this is enough for showing the demo. Now let me run the application. So the URL page URL is /demo01. Oh, so sorry, there are some errors. Component 01 start with lowercase. Okay, rename demo01. Running the application now. Fine. This getting opened. Now our URL is /demo01. Okay, you can see now no contacts to display. So first so that means it is trying to read from this service. Okay, now let me create one more thing. Already we have created a method to add contact. So what I'm doing is here I'm giving 3 different inputs with placeholder first name, then placeholder last name, then placeholder email. Okay, and I'm creating some private variables, string variables, first name, last name, email. Now I'm binding with this variable. So we have already explained about data binding. So I can directly bind. Oh, sorry. Input. Sorry. Bind equals first name. Yeah. Okay. Now the next bind equals last name. Okay. And the third one bind equals email. So now I'm binding this with these 3 variables, private variables. Okay. So let's move each to the next slide. Now after that, here I'm placing a button, add contact, and here I'm creating a method, private void add contact. Okay, here what I can do is, I can declare a new contact object here. And here I can provide first name is this private variable first name, then last name is this private variable last name, then email is this private variable, sorry, email. Okay, now after this what I'm going to do is contact service. Now I'm calling that method which we have declared here in contact service, add contact method. So for calling this add contact, we have to pass a parameter, that is the contact object. So we have already created the contact object here. Add contact of contact. Okay, the parameter is contact object which we have created. Fine. Now let's run the application. Stop it. Okay, I'm running it again. It is getting loaded. Okay, our page is demo 1. Fine. And oh, sorry, here add contact. The next it is showing here itself. So what we can do is add contact. We can move to the next slide. Okay. Hot reload. Yeah. So you can see now we have first name, last name, and email. Now I'm creating a contact, John Thomas. John, email is john@gmail.com. Clicking on add contact. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do one thing. Here we need to provide the on-click event. So on-click is equals add contact. Okay, then clicking on hot reload. Yes, now I'm clicking on hot add contact, and you can see now the contact is added here. Now next is George David, george@gmail.com, add contact, and that is also added. Now, for showing the difference between a singleton and a transient, I'm doing one more thing. I'm creating one more Blazor component here. So I'm naming this as demo02, and here the page is /demo02. Okay, and here what I'm doing is, okay, here we have to use the same inject method. Okay, you can provide this whatever name you need. Okay, now I'm using the same thing here to display. No need to add contact here, but to display the contacts. Fine. Now I'm running the application. So this is demo02, and the first one is demo01. Okay, I think, yeah, it is getting loaded. So first I'm going to demo01, and you can see now there is no contacts. Once we close the application, means that if the application is completely stopped, the memory will get cleared and the contacts will get removed. Okay. Now I'm creating a new contact named John Thomas. So the email john@gmail.com. Fine. I'm adding the contact here. Now let me create one more. Peter Francis. Okay, peter@gmail.com. Okay, fine. So now we have added two contacts. Now the thing what I need to show you is I'm just refreshing the page. So you can still see the contacts are loaded again. Now I'm going back to, sorry, I'm going to demo02, the new page which we have created. And there also you can see the two contacts. So once the page is loaded, it will show the contacts from this contact list of our contact service, Singleton Service. Okay, so now I'm going to some other page. Okay, and coming back to our demo02, still it is showing. So that means when the application starts, it will create a single instance of the class which we have created as a Singleton service. And that service will be valid throughout the application till the application stops. So we can reuse it in any, or if we are using any variable, any public variable inside this Singleton service, we can fetch the value in any page we need. So we will get the means it will not get cleared once we move to different pages. So it is a single instance and valid throughout the application. That is Singleton service. Now let's see how a transient service works. So I'm just closing this application. Okay, so in order to make this service a transient, we just need to change here, add transient. Okay, now the contact service is transient. So rest all things, let it be the same. I'm running the application now, or else I'll do, okay, fine. I'll run the application, then I'll show you how it works first. First, I will show you what is the difference. So the application is loading, fine. It is getting loaded. Let us go to our demo01. Okay. Fine. Now, in the same way, it is showing no contacts to display. So I'm creating one. Say George, David, George at gmail.com, add contact, and you can see in the same way it has been created. Now another one, Peter, Francis, email is peter at gmail.com, and again in the same way it is working. Now the difference is I'm just refreshing the page, and you can see everything has been removed. So now if we are going to demo 02, and there also you cannot see any contacts. So here in transient means each time when we are requesting for the service means when we are calling this inject method, or when we are injecting the service to our Razor component, each time it will create a new instance. So once I refresh the page, a new instance will get created. So in a new instance, there won't be any values, or there won't be any contacts inside the list. So that's why it is showing a blank list. Okay. So this is how transient works. So it will create a new instance each time. So that is transient service. Okay, now let's see some more details about dependency injection. Next, I need to show you how we can use this dependency injection in our partial class. So in our Razor file, we can use @inject, then the service class name, and provide a name for it. So this is how we can inject it in our Razor file. Now for index.razor, in our previous session, we have created a partial class. So if we need to move our C# code completely to a different class, we can isolate the C# code completely to a separate C# class. So here what we have done is we have created index.razor.cs file, and we have isolated the complete C# code for this index.razor file. So now if we need to use this contact service here in the C# class, then how we can do that? That is what I need to show you. So for that, what we need to do is we have to provide inject now contact service, and we can provide some name, contact service, get set. That's it. Now we can directly use it here. So here, now what I'm doing is, instead of, okay, we have hard coded some contacts here. I'm just removing this. Okay, and here I'm giving like this, contacts is equal to contact service dot contact list. Fine. So here we have a public variable, sorry, a private variable named contacts, and I'm assigning the value contacts, the value from this contact service class. Okay. So now let's see how it works. So I'm just making this as a singleton service so that we can add the contacts from our demo 101 page, and we can view it in index page. This is what I need to show you. So let's see how it works. So first I'm going to demo 01. Yeah, it's getting loaded. Okay, so I'm creating Robin Thomas, Robin at gmail.com mail ID. Okay, so as it is a singleton service, it won't we won't lose this data if we navigate to a different page. So I'm going to the index page now. Let's see whether it is showing this contact. It is showing contacts are loading. Fine, it is showing Robin Thomas, and it's showing the email. We already have a display email checkbox here, show info here. All these functionalities are working. Okay, so this is how we can use the injected. We can inject a service to a partial class or for an isolated C# class. Now, the final thing what I need to discuss you about dependency injection is how we can use service with interface. So this is the best practice which we can use for dependency injection. I will explain it in more detail, and I will also discuss about or explain about the use cases why we need to use interface for dependency injection. So just before that, I'm making some changes here. So I'm making this variable a private one. Okay. Now here I'm creating one more method, public list of contact. Okay, and get contacts. Now it will return the contact list. So as it is a private variable, we can just change the naming convention. Okay, fine. Okay, now the next thing what we can do is we can create an interface for this particular contact service. Okay, so I'm creating an interface, new item, and I'm naming this interface as iContact Service. Okay. Now here we have two different methods. The first one is list get contacts. So I'm mentioning it. So in order to use contact, I have to use the model's namespace. Next is add contact. That is a void method. So I'm implementing that as well. Okay, fine. So now this is an interface. Now what we have to do is next going to this service and inherit the interface iContact service. Okay. Now the next thing, what we have to do is going to this program.cs class, and here this is the previous method we have used. Now what we are going to use is services.add singleton. Now first I'm mentioning the iContact service, then contact service. Okay, fine. So here this is the interface, and this is the main class, okay, in which we have implemented the methods. Now next thing what we need to do is in our pages, for example demo, here we have used iContact service, but here I'm using here we have used contact service. Now I'm changing it to iContact service. Okay, and here what I'm doing is contact service dot get contacts. Here also I'm using get contacts. Okay, so get contacts will return the list of contacts. Fine. Now in our demo 02 also we have to do the same, iContact service, and here also get contacts. Fine. Okay, now yeah, we are showing index as well. So index also I'm using the get contacts method. Fine. Now in all our client means according to dependency injection, there are two different parts. One is the service and one is client. So client means these razor pages are clients. We are injecting, or this is a the injected service is received by this particular client. So we are calling this as a client. So here in this client, we have used the interface, or everywhere we have used only the interface, not the Oh, okay, here we forgot to change it. So I'm changing it, I contact service. Okay, so everywhere we have used interface. Okay, now I'm running the application. Okay, before running it, yeah, okay, it is Singleton only, fine. Now I am running it. It is getting loaded. Okay, first we can go to demo 01. Okay, adding one David, John, David at gmail.com. Add contact, fine. The contact has been added. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to demo 02. So as it is a singleton, the list will be there. So we can see it. And if I'm going to the home page, still there also we can see it. Okay, fine. It has been loaded. Now I will show you what is the use case of this. I'm stopping this application. Now, say for an example, I need to update after some time or after a few months or something, I need to make some changes in this contact service. Okay, so in that case, I don't need to make changes in this same class, but I need to create a new class and do my implementation. Say for testing purpose also, this is very useful. So here I'm naming this as contact service testing. Okay, so this is for testing purpose. So I need what is it? Okay, program. Okay, there's a contact service. Okay, fine. So we have to use this. And let me close all others. We need only these two. Fine. Now I have created a new class, contact service testing, and I am inheriting contact service. So it will ask me to implement the interface. Fine. So there is add contact and get contacts. So now for testing purpose, I don't need to really add contacts to my list variable. So here the list is here. But first I need to test something. So what I'm doing is return new list of contact, and I'm hard coding some values just for testing purpose. So first name is say Kevin, last name say Peter, and email is kevin@gmail.com. Fine. Okay. And add contacts, let it be the same contact list. Okay. But now I'm actually testing this get contacts method, so I don't mind whatever it is in add contact. Anyway, this is for a testing purpose. So that is my intention here. So if we are doing it in a previous method, what we have to do is in each page, we have to go to each page and we have to change this to contact service testing. Okay. Now that is not needed. What we can do is we can directly come to program.cs and just change it here. Instead of contact service, I need contact service testing. Simple. Now I can run the application. I don't need to make the changes in any of the Razor components. However, if it is a very huge project, then you might need to change it in many places. So it will consume a lot of time. But here, you don't need to do anything. You can just go to program.cs and change it. Now you can see we are seeing this hard-coded value. And here in our demo 02, you're able to see it. Now demo 01, here also it is showing. So everything is fine. So this is the use case of having a service with interface, and this is a best practice. So I suggest to do in this way instead of using our previous method. This is not a suggested one. Okay. So that's it for this video. Hope you are clear about dependency injection. So as I told, there are three types of dependency injections, or three different life cycles: scoped, then singleton, and transient. So we have already discussed about singleton and transient, and scoped is a different kind. And in Blazor, we don't normally use scoped, but we can use scoped in Blazor server apps like for HTTP request and all. So that is not a normal life cycle to be used. Fine. So hope you're clear with the dependency injection procedures. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And that's it for this video. So thank you for watching. Please like and share the video. See you in the next video. Thank you all.